What's up, guys? How's everyone doing today? It's Johnny. It's Friday, March 20th, 11 a.m. here in Sydney, Australia. Wherever you are in the world, I say welcome. I'm going to stay on for a little bit today. So if you're catching this live, if you're catching this on our Johnny Says Boxing podcast playlist, like the video. Tell me how you're doing. I want to answer your questions about all of the fights. In front of me, I'm watching DAZN. The Salida Promotions card is starting right now. I know if you follow their Instagram, the prelims had already started. So not all books had options to bet on this card. If you're a JSB insider and you're a VIP, our long parlay has two of these fights on it. That's why we're paying attention to it. The odds are pretty shitty, but we do have skin in the game, as they say. The main event on this card is Abisail Cotto versus Darlin Hernandez, and he's a massive favorite. We took him at $1.09. He's on our long parlay. And then Felix Paria versus Jose Velasquez. He's $1.10. So we do have skin in the game. I'll have this playing along in the background if you guys, are interested which fight is on. Maybe you have a book that you had options to bet on every fight. Whatever the case may be, let me know in the questions if you want me to focus on this. If not, we have a lot to talk about in the Patreon on our JSB Insider member section. I've given you 7 tickets. So there's 7 tickets. Ticket 1 of 7 starts, like I said, today on this card. And I might give you an 8th. I might give you a 9th. Who knows? I also want to mention, guys, to the newest JSB insiders who have just entered our Discord, I say thank you. We also say welcome. We're a growing community. We're approaching 450. It was only a few weeks ago we were getting to 400, and now numbers are starting to pick up. I want to remind everybody, I post every single one of my plays, and if you sign up on YouTube, you'll see them under the post section. If you sign up on the Patreon, you'll see them on members only Patreon. One of the biggest benefits of joining our squad, other than the community aspect, is if you are a bettor, whether your bankroll is massive or if your bankroll is just like an entertainment bettor. You love the sport of boxing, you love MMA, you love soccer, whatever your sport is, because we have it in the Discord, and you're just, sprinkling a little bit on it just to stay connected. It's during the live play that the value lies, meaning that, for instance, we have a 3-legger tomorrow, right? We have 3 fights tomorrow on a 3-leg triple. Let's say leg 1 loses. I'm just talking a little bit of philosophy real quick to catch everybody up, because sometimes week in and week out, with how fast we're growing, not everybody knows. Everybody's learning. My philosophy: if I give you a 3-leg parlay, whether it's fighter A to win by knockout, fighter B to win on points, fighter C to win on the money line, if ever leg 1 loses, you're probably going to see me follow legs 2 and 3. Now, some people will call that chasing. I don't call that chasing. I call that following a bet. It's like, growing up playing basketball, I was a 2 guard, I was a jump shooter, killer 3-point shooter, still play ball to this day. It's like you're shooting the 3, follow your shot, right? Your coach would teach you, don't shoot the 3 and fade. You want to shoot the 3 and follow your shot in case you miss and it comes off the board. My philosophy, because we're running an academy here. The boys have renamed it the JSB Academy. So I'm teaching some philosophies more and more with these live streams. The one scenario where I follow my bets is that exact scenario. I just want to reference that because every week I give you guys a triple. And last week, our first leg lost, but the last 2 hit. So what I do, without having to tell you, in those triple tickets, if that first leg loses, I'm probably going to follow it up with a double. Just want to clarify that. I got some messages about a ticket last week. And the one thing that we are here is we're a transparent community. So if you have those questions, you ask them. I'm going to start taking your questions now. Enough of me talking. Let's chat. Oh boy, Skeezy, Perth? We in the house? Perth? So if it is 11 a.m. here in Sydney, it's 8 a.m. in Perth. We welcome Western Australia to the show. What's up, Andre? What's up, brother? Can I hear your thought process behind? Yeah, the thought. Did something pop out? Of course. What's up, Andre? Andre's talking about. Let's pull it up, brother. Great question. And if you're new to the channel, over time you'll understand that this is not a hierarchy based thing that we do here. I don't give you my picks expecting you to listen to me. Like everything that I give you, I expect you to question. Some you'll agree, some you'll disagree. Andre's referencing my last post that I posted in the members only section, and I'll show you the play. He's referring to the Mick Conlan Kevin Walsh fight. Now, I do have Mick Conlan at $1.25 on our long parlay. I don't use the word lock, but Mick Conlan's going to win this fight. He's asking me about my prop. I took Mick Conlan on by knockout at plus 205. Now, by itself, it's a value play, guys. I have this fight on 2 tickets. One on the money line, safest, Mick Conlan. The second ticket is the most riskiest. So depending on your payroll, depending on your strategy, your style of betting, what I like to do is teach everybody with each fight, you have multiple options to bet on. And within those options, it'll be safest to most risky. Sometimes you just roll the dice. Now, if I'm doing a 4 or 5 leg parlay, I'm not going to choose the most riskiest and put it on the parlay for the sake of the parlay. You know, so I'm individualizing my parlay. So we want to hit that, right? With my single standalone bets, I could take a little bit more risk. Now, in my tape of Kevin Walsh is an undefeated fighter who's pretty much the same age as Mick Conlan, but domestic level from Brockton, Massachusetts. This is Kevin Walsh's Super Bowl. Kevin Walsh is a flat-footed guy who has never been at the world level. The tape I see on him, in my opinion, he lost his last fight. He won a decision against a small southpaw. And Kevin Walsh isn't the biggest dude. He doesn't do anything great. He's not a big puncher, doesn't have good feet, isn't a smooth operator, sluggish in there. Mick Conlan, mate, is world level. I chose the knockout because what we saw in Bateson last fight. I picked Mick Conlan by knockout in that fight too. So I think, Andre, you might be new to the channel. I always talk about patterns, sticking to patterns, sticking with fighters if the pattern is successful regarding betting. I took Mick at plus 350 to knock out Bates, and that wasn't a popular pick. But Payne, I know one of his strength coaches. I know the work that Mick Conlan puts in. I don't give a shit that he's lost 3 times by stoppage. That to me shows you how good he is. The head scratcher is obviously the Zelfa Barrett stoppage loss, and then the Lee Wood one. I mean, that could have easily been stopped early. If in a different world, this kid could easily have 1 or 2 losses. He could be a world champion, but he's not. And everything that I've heard, everything that I've kind of tapped into, is like this dude, 33 years old, 34 years old, still has that drive as he did at 23 to be a world champion. It's the only thing he hasn't done. Olympian medalist, youth champion, European champion, and he's just fallen short a couple times during world title fights. You mix all of that with it's in his backyard against a kid who's stepping up at 33 years old for the first time ever, who's the smaller dude, who's the less seasoned dude. Granted, he's undefeated. I think that undefeated record is going to suit Mick Conlan. I think that bravery is going to suit Mick Conlan. I think Mick Conlan punches harder than his 10 knockouts suggest. And I think it's a great risk. So I actually love that prop. It was the last ticket I gave you guys, and hopefully I answered your questions. What's up, Big Parlay? One of my favorite Outcast songs. Was it Spotty Yachty? So I've been wrestling with this all week. I've been waiting I thought by today the books would be opening up. And I usually give a safety net parlay. We've hit them this would be week 3 of the safety net parlay. If we do one this week, because the clock is ticking, I think I might have to pick 2 from the UFC side and 2 from the boxing side. just because I've already used. I don't like reusing fights on multiple tickets in case someone shits the bed. So this is strategy. You know what I'm saying? I've already used Mick Conlan on our long parlay. Let's say hypothetically Mick Conlan shits the bed, and I put him on the safety parlay, and then I lose the long parlay and safety parlay. This is one of those weeks where there's a lot of fights, but not a lot of good odds. I also don't give you guys. I never give you guys tickets that aren't in plus money as well. So I call it a safety net parlay, but every week when those hit, those are still plus money parlays. I mean, I could add in $4.10s and give you a four leg that's only paying 40% return, but there's no value in that. So give me some time. I think what the plan will probably be is take one or two UFC fights at a dollar. I have my eye on it, like $1.40, $1.37, and then a boxing. I think Adamas is still at $1.31, and do a three legger. But there's still time. If you guys haven't seen Garrett Rice fight, they call him Baby G. He's fighting right now against Ramos Cotto. Very fun prospect, very fun American prospect. Garrett Rice Jr., Baby G. The kid got some game. If you have DAZN, he's fighting right now. Hello, Johnny. I'm interested here. Thoughts behind Michael Conlan. Oh, we already talked about it. Yep. My boy DJ Green, DJeezy, 187 an ounce. Holla at your boy. Every time it's good to take time away. Oh, King, come on, baby. My boots are dug in, baby. I took Adamas on points early, like 5 days ago. I got Adamas on points, I think, at plus 180. Boots dug in. Look, I think that I'm leaning on ammo's durability. I'm also leaning on Adamas's been out of the ring for about 15 months. When you look at Adamas's style, he's not in a rush. And then when he gets a lead, he doesn't take a lot of risks. So he's not a big volume puncher. So I'm predicting, like, if you remember what the Hamza Shiraz fight, Hamza jumped out to like maybe a 3-1 lead early because Adamas was reading him. Maybe 2-1, and then Adamas wins the jumped out on the third, and then it could have been going into the fifth. It could have been 2-2, 3-1, and then it was all Adamas from the fifth round onwards. If you ask me, I had Adamas winning 8-4. I thought the draw was erroneous, dude. That was crazy. Thank God they didn't take Adamas's belt. But been out of the ring for 15 months. You know, not an aggressive puncher. He's a technical and he's accurate and he's great defensively. He doesn't really get hit clean. I like the points. I was going to use 365 to do the crazy amount of draws as of late. Skeezy. But the odds are yeah, risk it. That's the game we got to play, big dog. That's why I've dug in with Sportsbet. I always tell everybody we get better odds in Sportsbet, but the draw will screw us. Julius, can I come and talk? Oh, 100. Julius, I'll just put the link here. Julius, click this link. What was your reasoning having Corey? Oh, because Corey Marksman's a dog. I was fortunate to get Corey on Monday at $1.40. This is going to go down as one, like, Corey's going to get it done. It's going to go down as one of my earliest reads, because and I'm a day ahead of you guys. If you're not in Australia, we're a day ahead of you. So sometimes our books open early. And I saw on Monday, and you can check the receipts of my ticket, is I was like, the bookies have this wrong. Marksman is a really good boxer puncher. He's leveling up fight in and fight out. He's a good counter boxer. He's done most recently camps with Shakur Stevenson. He's been leaning on and getting mentored by Andre SOG Ward. I just think that he's a level above his opponent. And, you know, I don't know if it was just me, but I know I grabbed Corey at plus 1 $1.80 on Monday, and by now he's at like $1.40. So I don't know if that was if we did that, if our group did that, or if there's other sharps out there who saw that. They're like, oh, these odds are wrong. I think I'm gonna jump on it. All right, guys, I'm gonna bring one of our VIP insider sharps on right now. This is Julius. Give him some love. What's up, big dog?
What's up, man? What's up?
How you doing, man? Long time no speak.
Hey, man. Hey, look, man. Hey, this academy you got, man. Man. It's great to be part of it, man.
Oh,
I
bro,
gotta,
come on, baby. You're an integral component. You were a day one.
man. Yeah, I seen that, man. Yes, I seen Ben. Yeah, since
We're
20.
leveling up. You know what's happening, Jay, is I think there's a lot of like-minded guys in our group that it's not like just the successful bit. We're competitive enough to, if things don't go our way, we make adjustments. And I think we're finding patterns too in, like we always talk about, where the fights are, who's fighting, etc., A side, B side. I don't know if a lot of channels do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most channels, man. It's a few others, but for overall, man, nah, it ain't too many channels. You gonna find this much accurate information and have a track record as long as you do and a lot of others in the chat. I'm saying yes, other guys, man, yeah,
Receipts.
man, man, this
Yourself,
long.
King. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Consistently winning using strategies. So,
We
what's
not
your
having a
what
good week, but yeah, but I would say the Walsh fight, right?
Yep. I'll bring the odds
Uh,
up while you talk.
the Walsh fight, if you
Yep.
dig deeper into it, it reminds me of a fight, and it's the same promoter. You remember a fight, Kelly versus this Romanian guy?
Yep.
He was like 35-0, and
Yep.
but
Yep.
then you
Fabio
look at
Bea.
it, Fabio.
Fabio Bea. And I jumped on Josh by knockout at $1.90. And people were like, bro, so go on. That's a good shout. But Flavio had a padded record, knockouts, and
He was in his mid 30s,
yep.
and Josh Kelly, former Olympian, just
Smoked
just
him.
made and around. And I'm looking at this Conlan fight. This is a great deal. I mean, he's an Irish guy from America, um, who has a shiny record. But if you dig deep, he's literally just a guy who's really never fought out of New England, America. He's he has never been in the ring with anybody as close to Conlan. He started boxing at 23, and this is another thing. My heart goes out for people like this. He went to prison, right? Who they have a story, right?
Yep.
But and we keeping it real. He's a guy who started boxing at 23. He could be considered a novice.
Mm.
He's going against a guy been boxing his whole life. His brother, Conlon come from a fighting family. His brother was a world title contender. He's a world title contender. Walsh is going to be. He's in another country. He's probably not, what I'm saying. He doesn't know how out of depth he really is, and I think
That's right.
Conlon 1 to 5. That's the play, man. That's the play, man. Conlon 1 to 5, man. I think he just gonna he's gonna just show levels, man. It's gonna be at when Colin setting them traps, throwing them flurries. Wash is gonna be he gonna be befuddled. He's not gonna know what to do. If he swings, the countering, the level changes, body to head. These are things Wash has never seen, heard of.
Yeah.
Wash is like a guy who's like real talk. He's a guy who's struggling in America, ex-con. And come on, they call you, say, hey man, come to Ireland, fight former Olympian.
Yep.
What we talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Against and the thing is too, I'm not even trying to front here. I think Walsh thinks he could win though. And I think that's going to play into Conlan's favor in terms of him gonna, not go out the back door, but stay on the front foot, be there to get hit. And man, Mick Conlan's timing, I think it says a lot about the boxing fandom, about how historically we just throw fighters away when they lose a fight or they lose two fights. It's like, the Lee Wood fight. Mick Conlan and another referee, you put nine other refs in there, that fight would have been stopped. Lee would have lost by knockout. He got knocked out the ring. And it doesn't get stopped. It continues on, and then Conlan ends up getting stopped. And then the head scratcher for me was the Zelfa Barrett loss. But he's picked himself back up. Bateson, nobody, and once again, we talk about patterns here. I hit. I'm gonna ride you until you tell me to get off. And at plus 300 last fight, Bateson by knockout, we hit that. I'm doing it again. And would Walsh beat Bateson? I don't know.
Kyle Sunderland, the guy, seen nothing. Okay, I'm big on business. Just like I told you, I ain't I'm a data collector. I've been, but
Yep.
he's with a new promotional company, and I like how they move in common.
Is
Since his
Conlan with
loss,
Sunderland? Is Conlan with Sunderland Boxing now?
yeah, he's with Misfit Pro. That's what they call it now. Was Sunderland, but he's with a new
Okay.
promoter. He was with
Okay.
Bob Arum, Top Rank, and you
Yep.
notice since that Jordan Gill, they really been pushing because I really like the Jack Basin. But it's my thing. It's like Jack Basin was a quality guy. You know what I'm saying?
People picked him with a great record. Was he 20-1 or 21-1?
Young,
And a lot of the chat
young.
was picking him. People threw Conlan away. I was like, I don't know, man. He's not that washed, dude.
He
He might
was
be a little
30.
bit. Yeah, yeah, but like they were the chat though. That was I remember that fight week. That was a sexy pick to pick Bateson to beat Conlan
Man, hell, I
throughout
say
throughout 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 the boxing fandom.
now the guys in the chat with the big money, what I'm saying? Hey man, I'm like 1 to 3. I'm saying I don't
Yeah.
see I
So you
can't
like one
I
to five? You like
one
one
to
to five?
five
Let's
plus six
pull it up.
on
Let's see.
FanDuel. I said I don't know what's here on FanDuel. That's plus 650. So and I'm like me and you
Wow.
me and you saying, look, it's gonna be a knockout, and like
Y-
this is a concept. It's we sure if it's gonna be a knockout. I
Yeah.
got my boots saying you do too.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
it's either gonna end two ways, 1 to 5 or 6 to 10. That's 50
Yeah.
50. But they giving us the odds plus 650. So I'm like, hey, I got something I gotta take, man. You
Yeah.
know,
No. No. You're right. See, my book isn't giving. Man, my book is not giving me. Let
oh,
me
you
let me
don't get
check.
that.
Well,
Okay,
they're giving me round betting option like Conlon 1 to 2. I'm not getting that big gap that you're getting
oh,
1 through 6.
okay, one to
But
five.
but boys, if you're out there, check your books. If you could get 1 to 5, Julius is jumping on 1 to 5 Conlon.
And you get 1 to 3. Hey man,
You would take
one. Oh
yeah.
man, I just see this being and it's a showcase. It's in Belfast. And like, man, if he drops Wash in the first round like he did Wood, man, they calling that off. They not finna give Wash like
They're
the
not going to give Walsh. They're not going to give Walsh the standing. So guys, even this is a plus money prop. Will the fight go the distance? No, plus 115. I mean that's hedging your bet if you think that Walsh has a puncher's chance. I don't see this fight going the distance at all. So plus 115. I smashed Conlan at plus 205 for the stoppage, and so I think though that this time of the week, we're 24 hours out. There's fights on right now. Have you watched Baby G fight Garrett Rice Jr., the American prospect? He,
six
he,
six
he
six.
don't- have you seen Garrett Rice Jr. fight? He's an
Yeah,
American prospect. They call him Baby G.
no, I haven't heard him.
He's fighting on DAZN right now. He got some game. You should put an asterisk by his name. Young dude, under 10 pro fights, slick, does everything really well, catches and shoots, gets aggressive, fun little prospect that I think people will be talking about him more and more 2026. But yeah, he just fell out the ring. So this time of the week though, you look into our Discord, people start getting antsy, people start second guessing their bets. I suggest boys wherever you are, if you should be dug in by now. You know what I mean? Stand on your business. And the Mick Conlan one, the reason why it took me so place my bet because I was waiting to see if we were going to get these odds. All week I only had money line options and I took them on the money line on a parlay, but I was like, man, I think I'm going to take Conlan by stoppage here. So I think it's going to be it's a levels thing, man. There's at that level timing. A lot of times that what separates guys from Joe Stunner Boxing was talking about it the other day on a show. how like in the UK you win an area title, then you win your Commonwealth title, then you win the or you win the English title, Commonwealth title, then European title, then maybe you fight for at Worlds, and there's a system to it. You have to climb this ladder, and sometimes when guys rush those steps, they get found out. You know what I'm saying? And like we see a lot of these matchups, like the whole George Littard versus Kieran Conway a couple fights ago. Now Littard is fighting Tyler Denny. We'll see if Littard skipped any of those steps. I don't think he has. But when guys skip steps, you see in the fight the things like what really matters. The timing component. Oh, he wasn't at that level. His timing threw him all off, and he got caught and he got knocked out in the third because he didn't see that punch. He walked in on it and he got set up with that feint. That's what I think Conlan's going to dominate on. That sort of stuff. The minutia of the science. This guy was
Yeah.
a champion at every level. Mick Conlan was a champion. The only level he hasn't been a champion is the 0-2 he's been in a world title fight.
Well, and also, we can say he was an interim champion. That's
Interim
not a
champ.
that's not a
It's
full
not
champ, but
full.
hey, that's something. We gonna hey, yeah, that's
100%. So what other any other fights you want to focus on? I'm looking at some of the boys. A fun guy to watch. Let me see if Julius has a take on this. So They Love Eddie, he's another insider. He says a fun guy to watch this weekend is Travius Ingram. Probably never going to win a world title, but fought well against Yovis Gomez. I know both guys, and the odds on Travius are insane. Um, do you have any output on this one? Wow, Baby G just got dropped. That's crazy. I didn't see it. Garrett Rice, the dude I was talking about, he looks like a little Keyshawn Davis. Was he Voorhees? Is he winning the fight? Because obviously it's tough to score and watch. It looked like me he was controlling things. Was that a flash knockdown? They're showing it real quick. In an exchange, foot gets stepped on, pushes. Was that a clean knockdown, boys? Either way, it's only a 6 rounder, and I bet you he's going to turn it on now. What other fights, Big Dog? Do you see anything that any sort of maybe a fight people are overlooking or odds, maybe an odds play, a value play?
I
Oh,
think
these dudes are throwing bombs. All right, yeah, go on.
Sands by knockout. I think they like I said, the
Jim,
only thing Jimmy Sands by knockout.
yep, I had my eyes on that. I didn't have props yesterday against Osaze. Oh, here we go. Plus 179.
Yeah,
Okay.
they
Would you parlay that?
see.
Or would you just take the 70? Go on.
I was thinking about a KO parlay with Conlan by KO, Sands by KO, and Martinez by KO.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, that I have, you know what? I'm glad to see these Saints props dropping. I have Leicester by KO, and I paired that with a decision in the George Littard fight or George Gio Vasoli. I did a double with Gio Vasoli on points at $1.72. Leicester by stoppage at $1.42, and that pays plus 144. But a knockout, and then how do you think that Adamas fight's going?
See, I want to see the weigh-ins because first of all, I'm saying with Adamas, my question is, what happened? To be honest with you, over this whole coverage, nobody's talking about it. They haven't
They never
nobody's
do.
mentioned it.
They never do, man. They never do.
What happened? You was
We need that.
spending.
I know. Can I get an answer out here? Like, it's.
I'm American man. That is it's so weird that you had a championship
He
fight.
said he was dehydrated. That was the excuse.
Well, if it was weight making, well, are you going to make the weight tomorrow? This is fight. I mean, we got to see it. I mean, it happened with Janabek. They rescheduled with the Australian guy, and then he destroyed him.
Yeah.
Um,
He fought
so it's
Andre
like
Mikhailovich.
if this wa- if the scenario with the weight was not there, I'm taking Adamas by KO. What really sold me, and it is being overconfident, but it shows you something. It rarely happens. they was showing Adamas clips of ammo during him fighting. He laughed. And when you laugh, that's something you can't control. He literally thought it was a joke. That's how
Yeah.
he viewed him. He viewed him
Yeah.
as a he laughed. He
Like
just she like, yeah,
yeah. Like lesser than him.
like who is like I'm saying for him to feel this way, it's two sides is to be overconfident. And it's this guy, he knows something. I'm saying rarely do I see that with a boxer where they talk about the other boxer and he just smirks.
In
Like,
front of him.
yeah, like this is not like, yeah, he's not he viewing, and I'm gonna keep it real. He said he doesn't know how to box. He said he
Yeah.
doesn't know what he's doing. And
Yeah.
Adamas is a guy, he's a world amateur. He went to the championship, went to the world amateur champions. He's been in there with Darian Chinko. He's been in there with Tixtera. He's been in there with world champions.
He's a
And
world champion. You know, he I had him beating Shiraz 8-4. He handled Shiraz from the fifth round onwards. He's a dude, he could counterbox. He has good defense. He has good feints, good speed, good gas tank. He I'm leaning on the fact though that he's gonna get up, get a lead, and then just cruise. That's what I'm hoping on because I've seen him do that before. He'll go through laws of just sitting on a lead sometimes. But there does seem to be some vitriol in this matchup. These guys seem like they don't like each other, so maybe he would pour it on. Ammo puts himself out of position a lot. He overswings, overpunches, doesn't foot feint, doesn't set up anything. Everything's at one speed. Everything's at one. It's very so. If Adamas is giggling, he's probably laughing at that sort of stuff. The things that the average fan probably doesn't pick up on.
yeah, and like well, and pick up a lot of, okay, I will say this. He went to distance with Gaucher. People say a lot of people,
Terrell
they
can
say, oh,
shake a box. Terrell can shake a box. Don't get it twisted. Like he's a
well, I want everybody
Olympian.
go watch any club level fight and then go watch a fight on Matchroom. There is no level changes. There is no setups.
Mm,
There is no sophisticated defense. These
mm,
things don't exist at that level. And guys like Adamas have been perfecting this since a baby, while
polished
Austin Williams he's just a tough guy off the
athlete,
streets of America. Yeah, just a
yeah,
tough athlete, man, with
athlete,
heart. He's a tough guy, and he's
yeah,
tough. He's got a heart that
yeah,
he got in the box for some money,
yeah.
and that's not wrong with that. But
No, nothing
Adamas
wrong with it.
is a perfected boxer. He thinks of sophisticated ways to produce defense, offense. He's thinking higher level than club levels. He's
Yeah,
not thinking I'm gonna just come in there and swing it up. I'm worried about Austin Williams. His gas tank is
yeah.
going 12. Has he gone
I can
12?
see it. No, no, these are all real things, man. Like Wendy Toussaint is a welterweight who took that fight on 24-hour notice and didn't win many rounds, maybe won one round, but he lasted the entire time. Patrice Volney, another tricky guy out of Canada that I felt Ammo didn't really control. Like the scorecards
Could
were
have been a
that.
draw. Could have been a
Yeah,
draw.
man, those scorecards were wide. Patrice Volney got some craft to Patrice Volney could box. And Ammo,
And
we saw Ammo was trying to figure that out.
go watch that Voney fight. His coach told him you need urgency. He thought he was down. I
Yeah,
remember during the round, they said, man,
yeah.
you need
The score, one
we
of the scorecards was crazy. I
he
remember, like
said,
I took Ammo. I'm never comfortable betting on an Ammo Williams fight because of that. Um, So Kevin Omari's fighting, man. Dude, the odds on the Omari fight. Look, if you could get an Omari Jones knockout, this is a big dude, young kid, under 5 fights. He's fighting a guy with 30 pro fights, but the guy he's fighting is like a 140, 147 pounder coming up. And Omari's a 6'1" power puncher fighting a 5'7" guy. You do have to be hesitant though. Omari only has what, 5 pro fights? His opponent has 30. But I think it's set up. Did you tape these guys or no?
you said,
Amari Jones,
okay,
he's a fun prospect, American Olympian. The odds are crazy, dude. He's
I
like
get, yeah, I get
you.
them confused with the other guys. The other
There's
guy,
two of them.
He with MVP. Okay, you talking about the one
There's
with
Omari and there's Amari.
okay,
Yeah,
you
there's
talking about
two
the
of them.
one matchroom. Hey man,
This is Like if
His
I'm
last
not betting,
performance. Yeah, I
yeah.
didn't like. I didn't like his last performance. He should have
Oh, we,
stopped that guy.
okay, so we're
I didn't.
getting.
I didn't
Yeah,
like
I'm
him
not.
going
He's a
distance.
dollar. He's a dollar one. I'm not betting on this fight unless you're getting a knockout prop. Don't bet on him. Don't even play this fight, guys. There's no reason to play this fight.
I'm waiting
Um,
for Amari Jones to fight a tough Mexican with a good gas tank. That's what I
and,
seen some issues
and
when
his
he
size. Well, this guy's a tough Mexican. He's fighting. He's just small. You know what I mean? A 5'7" guy, Christian Gomez. I'll pull up the box rec.
he when he dropped that dude, he should have took him out. He looked like he lacked
Killer
intensity, man.
instinct.
I didn't like that, man. That's what I do look, man.
So this is the Omari Jones we're talking about right
Okay.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. The guy, last guy, he fought the black guy. You can't let a guy like that make it to the end. No, if you're talking about you coming out saying you're gonna be world champion, you already have an ass. No, you can't let guys like that survive because they don't have sophisticated defenses. They don't have understanding of gas tank. When you face somebody who really understands these things, if you couldn't stop him, you're not gonna be able to stop. Like I said, I see real talk. Amari getting losing to some random Mexican guy that we
So
never heard of.
well here, funny you say that. Check this match. This is Christian Gomez. So Omari's 5-0 with 4 stoppages. This is his opponent. This will be his opponent's 31st pro fight. His name's Christian Gomez. He's 23 6-1.
What's his age? Oh, yeah, I ain't looking at
Let's
how
look.
old he is.
They're 32.
Mm, I don't know. That's yeah. I would say if he
He's
was
small
like
too, though.
how many knockouts? He got 6 losses,
21 knockouts.
21.
But
Hmm.
he's only 5'7", and he's coming up a division or two.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
just
like it.
he's a smaller guy. Omari's gonna probably gonna walk on him a bit.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying. Stylistically, you're gonna be worried about Omari when he's in there with a guy who's his size, a little bit more seasoned, with the weaponized cardio gas tank. The
Yeah.
sniper. Look at the boys. Look at the boys. They're like, is this Julius? Yes, Julius, the sniper.
Hey man, hey, if
That's
you
what I
can,
call you.
Conlan 1 to 5, man. Conlan,
Listen to this man. Listen
Conlan,
to this man.
I know. You
Yeah.
look, if you can get it, and I
Yeah.
I tell you 1 to 3, man. I think it's gonna be, man.
I think it's going to be easy work, man. And look, I don't like, I'm not trying to discredit Walsh. That when maybe it's not going to be easy. Nothing's easy. Anything can happen. I just feel like the last few like every Mick Conlan fight week, people forget about like what he's done when he's at his best. Like you can't just throw. It's not like he's 43 years old. This isn't a guy who he has one. This guy who still wants to be a world champion. That goes for something. And I think with only 10 knockouts, he punches harder than his knockout to win ratio suggests. Um, I think he's going to be looking for the stoppage. I think we're going to see classic aggressive Mick Conlan putting himself in danger, not having the highest fight IQ, and then going for the stoppage. So we'll see if that happens.
And I'm gonna tell
Um,
Kate, I don't know if you get. I like the guy on Pro Box, the kind of tall Anton, um,
is he fighting this weekend or no?
Joshua Anton. That's his name versus
I saw the odds. I was gonna. Uh, the odds are good. Joshua Anton versus Kudratilo Abdikorev. Abdikorev's been in some this fight right here. Kudratilo versus Anton. Joshua Anton is I think 19-0 with 18 knockouts, right? That's the dude.
yep. Yeah, I mean, I like if we can get that. If that you got any props on that, that we can't. Okay, can't get no props on that.
I'm not
Okay,
getting props on it. Do you like? Are you hunting a knockout there?
I'm looking at that. Cool. The Kazakh guy. He
Kudratilo,
take
yeah,
a he
he
lo-
takes a
he takes
shot.
a lot of so that's what I'm saying. This is a guy he known for a chin, and we trying to see can Anton dent that chin. I think the Kazakh guy has been in. I've watched him fight over the years. He's a guy
Yeah,
who's
we've
been
seen him. We've
around.
seen him a few times.
he was supposed to uh
Be the dude.
be a next level, you know what I'm saying? But to me, yeah, I think them long amateur careers and the punishment he's taken so far, I think he gonna be easy pickings. Because you know one thing about them Soviet guys is that what I noticed is that in that particular fighting style, they don't show head movement.
Yep.
Very few have. 'Cause if you know Triple G, what he's known for his chin. He was known for
Yep.
getting caught a lot. It wasn't
He
like
wasn't
a
known for
running.
slipping. Yeah, he wasn't
I
slipping.
rarely see that form of that level of defense, upper body movement from those fighters. Not you know what I'm saying? That's a pattern. Like I look at ethnic groups, people from that region, they
No,
mainly
you're
use
right.
their feet. They use their feet as defense. Now they don't really even
Big
bet
punchers.
there. Yeah, they don't
They're
do they
tough.
don't
They're
yeah.
tough. They're durable. I mean, Derevyanchenko, never been stopped. Not a perfect record.
They
There to
tough.
get hit. Super tough. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I feel like yeah, on time
So
by
this is
knockout.
Anton. So this is Anton on paper, man. My bad. He's not eight. He's 12-0 with 11 knockouts. I kind of gave him too many wins. But at
Six
super
three
welter,
two.
he's 6'3". He's already ranked in the top. What's he ranked? 31 at 154 pounds. He's 27 years old, 6'3" southpaw. Not a household name yet, but I mean, he keeps climbing the ranks. This is a nice step up for him, though, man. Kudratio, he's going to be there. He's going to be competitive enough. Um, you like him by knockout.
Man, like yeah, that was saying like pro box, man. Like I like how they push guys too. Like,
Dude, the
like
Isaiah Lucero fight. He impressed me during the Lucero fight because I know some people were high on Lucero. Uh, his last fight. Joshua Anton's last fight against Isaiah Lucero, and he kind of just did what he wanted to do with him.
man, you know what? Okay, it's Isaac Lucero. And we
There's
can't
two.
just
There's two Luceros though. There's
okay,
there's
okay,
yeah. There's two of them.
okay.
There's the
I okay,
one
I know what you're
that's
talking about because I
yeah.
often say the one who's
He's being
fighting on
pushed.
the
He's
on the
being pushed
Zerto
by
card.
yeah yeah.
That
There's one
that
who
I
fights.
like that guy. Hey man, he look
Oh,
hey, I
he's
like
he's
that.
Oh man, I mean he's being pushed, and people are saying trying to connect his name with world champions. I just saw him on Instagram being pushed by not Bob Santos. He's a Bob Santos guy, and he was
Yeah.
like, "Yo, this is the guy. You guys are saying this name, but don't sleep on our boy Lucero." So this
And
this Isaiah was a different one.
I'm actually like one thing, one last one. This is what fight I want to ask you about. 'Cause probably next week I'll probably be busy some, but do you think Jermaine Franklin is as durable as they say? Because I'm looking at his record and I'm like, man, he ain't really fought no young dude.
Bro.
Like, look at
So
everybody's fault. Yeah, he's fought when he fought Joshua. He was in his mid 30s. White when he was in his mid 30s. The last guy he fought was in his mid 30s. He fought Devin Vargas, who was in his mid 30s. I'm saying like they portraying him as this tough, durable guy. And again, he looks fat and sloppy. That don't age well. I'm not that easy, but hey, you're right. It's
he
fat and
he
sloppy
just turned
guys.
he just turned 32.
I'm like, they portraying him as he this tough guy who can't nobody stop, and I'm just like, I'm not. I'm saying what who has he fought in his mid 20s? When the last guy he fought in his? Because I remember my first time seeing him fight was when he fought on a Salida card, and he fought what's
Rodney
that guy
Moore,
name? Uh, what's that guy, man? He's a guy. Oh man, it's a white guy, Pavel Sauer. That was a
Pavel
guy I
Sauer.
said. Yeah, I'm like, who was he? Who has he been in with? Who's a young guy? Who most of the time are gonna be athletic? Like I said, I see a Tama want to early. I don't see this what they making it. I think they just trying to sell a fight.
I think
I
I
don't
think
think
some.
he.
I, I agree with you. I think at this stage of the game, with a guy who's as hyped as Moses Ituama, and how they still have to move him because he's so young. But I like this step up for him. I think it's gonna be a blowout, man. I think
Yeah, what
I
I'm
think
saying. Yeah,
Moses.
they making it
I
seem
think
like it's gonna
Moses.
be a test.
I
Yeah, they
think
said
he's
it's gonna
gonna
be
blow him
okay.
out. Yeah,
Okay,
you know,
okay. I'm saying, man, like,
I don't
cause
see
I seen the
Jermaine Frank.
distance odds.
I don't
Ooh,
see
okay.
Jermaine Franklin being able to hang with him. I think, dude, at the heavyweight division, obviously power is matters, but so does mobility, speed, volume, output, using your feet. Moses is all of that. Now, I am going to say in that same vein, I'm never, and you guys should know this on the channel. I'm not one to ever ordain any young prospect contender hype guy with a lot of hype as the next coming. You need to prove it to me. I think this matchup from what we've seen from Moses up until now, going into the Franklin, I think that's a good step up. I think that's a proper step because now we get to see him on this level. I think he's going to do what I think he's going to do, make it look easy. And now there's no going back for Moses. And now you know what I mean? There's no step. It's all big fights from moving forward. And he's what, 22? I mean, we could be looking at a decade of a guy who's going to be dominant. I want to see him in there with a mover. I still say I wanted to see Moses versus Justice Hooney. I wanted to see what he would do against Justice. People throw Hooney away for the knockout loss against Fabio, but he was beating his ass up until the 11th. He was winning every round. Like I always
Hold
talk,
up. You said Hooney. Okay, okay. Yeah, we talk. Well, yeah, okay. When I
dude.
just
Justice.
seen it,
I think he has a
Hooney
fight coming
versus
up.
Clark.
I
Hooney
want to
versus
see
Clark.
Justice versus Tawama. I want to see
Do you
for
give
me.
Clark a chance?
What's up?
I seen that. I just recently seen they dropped the undercard for Arslan Beck and Fury, and they had Hooney versus Clark. I wasn't expecting something
Hooney
like that.
Hooney's fighting Fraser Clark.
Yeah, okay. You that's just
Oh,
some new dude. Just
I didn't see that either. No shit.
do you give Clark a chance? When I first seen that, I'm saying, man, they what? But I mean, both coming off
Coming
losses.
off
That's
losses, Fraser Clark. No, at least Fraser Clark knows the game plan. He knows the blueprint for what we think it probably is going to be moving forward with Justice's career. But Justice, on that same token, if we're gonna lean in on the narrative of Justice, not being as durable as people say is, but the kid could box, dude. He has great for a head. He makes his frame at 6'3", 6'4" look like he's a welterweight with how he's
hmm.
moving in and out. He carries his endurance. He carries his cardio into the 11th and 12th rounds. Like I expect that knockout loss to Fabio. I expect that to propel him with a fight. He could easily box for the next 5 to 10 years as like an IQ heavyweight and win fights from the outside and frustrate guys and become a world champion. I think, dude, you don't see a lot of guys at the heavyweight division with those skills he has. I'm a skill guy, so I rate Justice Hooney.
I said,
But
do you think this is a close fight, him and Clark? Because
have
I'm
the
like,
odds dropped? I didn't even know. I didn't even know. This is the first I'm
oh,
hearing about it. Let me see if there's odds on it.
because I
So
know that
this is on
fight coming up. It's about 3 weeks. It's not that far
what?
away.
No
Uh,
shit. I didn't know about it. So let's see if we get Justice Hooney odds real quick. I mean, my initial thing says he should beat Fraser Clark. Yeah, that's about right. He's a 4-1 favorite.
4 to 1. Okay, 4 to 1. Okay.
Dude, come like he should then if he loses to Fraser Clark, then he's not who I thought he was. The career I follow. I've seen him fight multiple times. Justice Hooney's one of these guys when you meet him in person, you would just be blown away with how big he is. Everything like I have big hands. I'm a little under 6 foot. I'm 5'11". My dad was 6'4", so he gave me his hands, big ass head. Dude, Hooney is a fuck. He's like a stat. He's massive, dude. And then you see his style being on his toes. You never see that in the heavyweight division. Um, yeah, so I don't mind these odds. Points, stoppage. What do you? That Fraser Clark did not look good in his last fight.
I'm saying like I'm so surprised that
He. What are you
that
surprised about,
I'm saying, man, if we watched the fight, the dude was breathing after the second round. Like I'm confused. I'm
bro?
like, God, is
Bro,
something wrong with him? Is something wrong?
he got
Like
asthma. Do you got an upper
something?
respiratory infection?
Because I was saying, but look, he just started the fight, and man, hold
Yeah,
up, I could get some dudes on the street with better cardio
I
than
heard that.
conditioning. I'm like,
Dude, do you remember the Discord was going crazy? We've only since August we've only had like 2 or 3 full meltdowns in the Discord where people were getting all crazy. That fight card, people were having. I was like, dude, I don't even think I bet on that fight, the TKV Fraser Clark fight. Boys
Oh,
were,
I took the
dude.
under. I took the under. I thought it
Did
was.
you
I
take?
thought I got, but I said, he was helped by the ref. And that's an example of home cooking. Anywhere else,
Yeah.
you flopping all over the floor like that because
Yeah.
he was off his feet for 10 to 12. He was gone, man. Anywhere else in the world where he
It
wasn't
was not
the
a good
A
optic.
side, yeah, he would have been, man. The dude was taken off. He looked like he died in the ring. You know what I'm saying? He
Bro, these
lower
girls are
collapsed.
throwing bombs, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If anybody's watching Tapia versus Vasquez round two, these ladies, Julius, do you have DAZN on?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's good talk, was why I wanted to get out and watch this Puerto Rican
Oh yeah,
card.
yeah. Rap, yeah,
All
go,
right,
dude.
man.
These ladies are throwing bombs. I'll catch you in the Discord, big dog. Let's get it. All right. All right, boys. I'm gonna stay on. Is anybody watching dude, these girls round two. I apologize for cutting Julius like that. But Vasquez versus Tapia, these ladies are throwing, standing literally in the pocket. Rock'em sock'em robots. I'm gonna stay on for a little bit longer. Boys, like this video. We're 50 minutes in, wherever you are in the world. I say welcome. Hopefully you enjoyed that. That's one of our community JSB insiders, snipers. Julius, he's a sharp. He has a keen eye for this. He was when we started the Discord in August. He was one of the first VIPs in there. So whenever he says he wants to jump on, you know, he's always welcome. So Julius, for catching this, man, I appreciate you. I'm gonna catch up to these comments now. Boss Christos, the first leg of the long parlay. Yes, sir. It is. So the next fight, we got I think it's the Cotto fight, right? Cotto Lopez. Damn, Ohio State lost. Ain't that about it's tough being an Ohio sports fan, guys. The Buckeyes lost by 2 today in basketball. We're a football school. So we got so Christos, we got Felix Perilla versus Jose Velasquez, and then we got Abasel Cotto versus Dylan Hernandez. I think Cotto fights next. There's some I wrote down when Julius was on. I wanted to okay. So my book yesterday when I went to bed wasn't offering me Jimmy Sains by knockout. Jimmy Sains by knockout is $1.79. Have a look at your books. It's interesting. It's interesting odds. I might prop that with something else. We are archaeologists. We will dig, we will find, we will research, we will discover our victories. We do this week in and week out. Did you see Baby Anderson's fighting Sullivan Dackers? I didn't see that. Eddie, man, you're like the Johnny on the spot with the breaking news. Torres versus yeah, postponed. Sanchez hurt his knee. I'm a big Kiki Torres fan, probably by fault. I think Kiki Torres is going to be a world champ. I like athletically skilled. Oh, these girls are throwing haters. Round three. I like athletically but skilled heavyweights. I like heavyweight, and you give me an undersized heavyweight who relies on his skill, athleticism, and technique like Kiki. He's not a finished product. Good amateur career. I mean, he's already had a think about how many fights he's had in his pro career. Not a lot. He's already fought Guido Vianetta. That's a nice little step up. Um, people will talk down on the heavyweight division in the states, but Joshua Edwards is a guy that has a lot of growing to do, but he's a fun prospect. He didn't look great. He fought a really awkward opponent in his last fight, that Italian guy who looked like he was 70, but he was 29. And anytime at this stage of Joshua Edwards' career, if he doesn't knock somebody out, people are going to say that was a bad performance. But he's a heavyweight prospect in America I'd pay attention to. And then Kiki Torres is my guy. This is 40 seconds in round three, and these ladies are brawling. What's up, Rocket? Cuba by decision. Let's pull it up, big dog. Let's see if we're getting props on it. I did not know Justice Hooney was fighting Fraser Clark in 3 weeks. I like watching Justice Hooney fight, man. Oh, the dreaded no connection. Your set device has been disconnected. So happy to find in the range. All right, so I'm going to pull up Anthony Cuba right now. You know what? Good call, Rocket. I think I'm going to parlay Saints and Cuba. I'll post this in the Patreon if I make this live. So right now, Anthony Cuba on the money line. Yeah, I'm not getting any props, any method of victory. I like Cuba on the money line, $1.31. Decent value. I mean, Jai Valaterra, I was this close from taking Valaterra by upset, but having watched further tape, Valaterra, dude, has been in there with Raymond Morataya. He lost almost every single round against Morataya. He'd been in there with we just did his resume yesterday. He's been in there with couple former world champions. Lost every round against both guys, but he's been in there with the better guys. Anthony Cuba, he's 23. Jair's 24. Cuba's the A side. Robert Garcia kid. He keeps leveling up. Looked great in his last fight. Aggressive body puncher, slugger. Good cardio. His only loss, he has to draw. Lost to Carmel Moten. Dude, if him and Moten fought again this year, I probably would take Cuba. And I'm high on Carmel Moten. I just like the levels. I just don't know how good. Like, where is Carmel Moten's ceiling? We won't know yet. He's still so young. Give him time, right? Don't rush him. But I like Cuba. I like even in that was a firefight against Moten. I liked his optics, what he looked like getting hit, his posturing in the firefight all looked good to me. That was a few years ago, and since then he's looked great. Would he stop Yair? I don't know. I think it's his first 10 round. It's a 10 rounder, right? Right now I like him on the money line. Moses versus Torres, bro. I like it. I like that fight, man. Damn, I like that fight. I wasn't even thinking about that fight. Ituama versus Kiki. I have Litter. I have this as a play as well, big dog. So I do have George Litter on points. I think I grabbed him at. So all the JSB insiders, if you remember in our Patreon or on Discord, you would have this ticket. I did a little double. Yeah, I put my ticket in on Wednesday. I got. Oh, my bad. I took Gio Vasoli on points at $1.72. I wasn't getting. That's another good one. So I'm gonna see if I'm getting littered props. So Sains, littered props. I could see Sains by KO, littered on points. I mean Tyler Denny. I don't see Tyler Denny winning, but Tyler Denny, he's George Litter looked great against Karen Conway, man. Conway, big, tough, durable, and George just beat him up, dude. Tyler Denny's a better, he's going to use the ring more. Let's see what the odds look like. So let's see. Jimmy Sains by knockout is giving us what? This isn't bad, man. Osaze's been in there with a lot of people. He just hasn't. He's not at that level, man. Derek Osaze, when he fights, he's fought like everybody on this card basically, and he's lost. Jimmy Sains, high knockout to win ratio. What we don't know how good he is yet. We'll find out. He's worth a sprinkle. It's guys. It's for me. UK. It's always big shot. It's always half unit for me in the UK. By the way, just so you know, I'm not betting $1,000 on these tickets. Littered on points. Wow, they're saying so. This is the move because the book says littered to stop Denny. If you take littered on points and Sains by knockout, it's plus 383. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at that at all, man. If I make that live, I'll let you know. Edward struggled with the British Columbia War. There's no way that dude was 29 years old, man. You guys are, you guys are, you guys are messing with me. There's no way he was 29. That fool. I'll be 44 in 3 weeks. That dude looked like he was 15 years older than me. He looked like he was. Damn, he looked like he was 60. That's crazy to think. You got Cuba. Yeah, I got Cuba. I flip flopped. 3 days ago, I had Jair, and then I switched back. This is a fun fight, guys, if you're watching DAZN. Blue collar in the house. Blue collar, what's your read? There it is. Cuba said he sparred more Italia and Landolfo for this fight. Both of those guys beat Jair. Yeah, yeah. This is a good stat. So Jair, he shared the ring when he fought Landolfo. I think it was an 8, or when he fought Moritalia, it was an 8-rounder. Lost every round. When he fought Landolfo, I think it was a 10-rounder. Lost every round. Moritalia is a world champion. Landolfo Delgado still holding on to that undefeated record. Wins a lot of close fights. Yeah, I flipped. I'm comfortable with Anthony Cuba. It didn't feel when I picked Jair 2 days ago, but I didn't share the pick. I spoke about it, and then on my live stream yesterday, talking through it with Nick. I know Nick picked Jair, and I broke the news to him that I flip flopped. Yeah, Omari Jones by any way he wants, man. Omari Jones is it's only a 6 pro fight. You do have to be cautionary because I think Christian Gomez is his 31st pro fight. The thing about this fight though is Gomez is coming up, I think, 2 weight classes. Omari's 6'1", Christian's 5'7". Dude look like Gary the Oh, bro. G's in there. Bro, that dude looked the dude who fought Josh Edwards. The crazy thing is he had a little bit of my dad would say he had a little bit of sauce to his game. You can't judge a book by by a cover. He was the first guy to go the distance with Edwards. Says something. But that belly was on point. He had a skullet, the beard. He just looked like a dude who would be a bouncer, like a shithole, just a shithole dive bar in Downey, California. No shade. I used to live in Long Beach. I used to go to this shithole in Downey. George on points. Fasoli on points. Ethan James on points. Kiza B, UK in the house. Pereira, the GOAT. What's up, high interest? He does look like G-Man. Well, he not only... He kind of reminds me of McClellan. I can see it, actually. Dude, man. Gerald McClellan, man. Damn, what a puncher. What a fighter. How tragic. Boxing's such a brutal sport, man. We have to be nice. We have to be kind to our fighters, guys. Not everybody's going to retire undefeated. It's one of my biggest subconscious messaging on my channel is to not call fighters bums. Like, wherever they are in their career, man, we have to be kind to these guys, dude. It can all end just like that. And what a tough career to choose to be a prize fighter. Risking your health, your future. Gerald McClellan, man, that one still bums me out. But I like the comparison, though. Yeah, I said that yesterday. Bro, Cuba is a beast. I was about to ask you where you ranking Carmelo. I think the Cuba best. Yeah, I can see that. It's weird how active Carmelo was in 2024. I think he turned. What did he do? He either turned in October of 2023. Yeah, he turned in October 23. Had a massive 2024. And I don't. Maybe he's filling into his body. I'm not sure. I follow him on Instagram. We featured him on the channel before. I'm a fan of Moan. Yeah, modern day gladiators. Guys, stay tuned, boys. You guys are the best, man. I appreciate everybody here. Let's finish with a flex. Let's flex on these young bucks. We old. So if you're an old head like me, walk past these young bucks and flex on them, baby. We old. we're only as old now as we'll ever be, or we're only as young now as we'll ever be. So love life.